Hey everybody, this is Putt King, and I'm back with this week's story time. And before I start the story time, I want to say I apologize for not doing story times in the past week. I've not found time to do them, but I have found time to do one this week. So, you get a story time this week. And I've had this story on hold for many weeks, probably a couple months. And I figure now it's time to tell it, because as you know, my anniversary is coming up at work. They say it's Sunday, but I really think it's tomorrow when I'm working. But when I've been working at McDonald's for 2 years. But anyway, thought since the 2-year anniversary is coming up, it's appropriate to do a story time from work. And this occurred not once but twice. 2 different times. First, it was a Friday night, and we were busy, of course. I mean, we're always busy on Friday and Saturday nights. But I mean, it was Friday night, so I mean, we knew, or it might have, yeah, I think it was Friday. Seems like it. Anyway, the manager that was running was running kitchen and shift that night. Well, she decided to go ahead and try to run food out to somebody. But when she tried to run the food out to somebody, it is when I just mopped, and apparently she fell. So I apparently felt bad about it because I was the one mopping and everything. And so I try to help her up. She's like I can get up myself. And then I tell her, I felt bad that she fell. And then she's like, well, you had wet floor signs and you had it all around and everything. She's like, besides, I was running and everything. I was like, yeah, but the important thing is you're okay. She said, yes, the important thing is I'm okay. So that one was over, and I thought, that was just a bad scene, not to happen. But little do I know that that a couple nights after that, this one worker, well, I mean, I think she graduated, went back to her hometown, but this was in the last weeks of college, and unfortunately, I had just gotten done mopping, and when I finished mopping, what do I see? Well, there's an employee on the floor, just like laying there, and I asked her and everything, y'all, you okay? She's like, I'm fine. And then she kept just like, it's like she was saying I'm fine with like her just, eyes laying there. It's like it. And then I noticed her body was like in the form of like falling. And then I thought maybe she didn't fall. So I said to her, okay, well, I just thought that maybe you had fallen. And she's like, I did. And so it's kind of, and of course, it causes again by my mopping. So of course the manager that got hurt, she was the one that had to get her up and have her sit down, just rest for a second. I mean, it was near the end of the shift anyway, and then of course, I tell the manager, I said I felt bad again because I'm the one mopping, and she's like, well, you had wet floor signs, and they were in place. I was like, yeah, but it seems like she must have not had non-slick shoes like we're supposed to have. It's like she may not have, but the big problem for me was that she had like a couple of drinks with her, like carry out drinks and everything. So when she fell, the drinks just like went. I mean, some just went on the floor and everything. So the floor was like filled with filled with, well, maybe not filled, but, you know, there were some big spills. There were a few spills. And of course, you know, she's like, I'm going to need you to mop that up again. So, yeah, because of my coworker falling, had to mop it up again. But really, I did not care about mopping it up again. What I really cared about was her falling. I tell everybody and everything at work. I even tell some customers, since they wouldn't be, you know, since some wouldn't have non-slick shoes. I tell them, you know, it's not much that it's not really them walking on my mopped floor that bothers me. It would bother me more if they actually fell. I tell them I'm more concerned about them falling than walking on my wet floor. I can mop up a floor, but, you know, I mean, if somebody falls and gets hurt, then, you know, I'm going to feel bad because I feel that's my fault on the mop. That's why we have wet floor signs. Got wet floor signs because, and sometimes when customers are sitting close there, I will put them there, you know, to let them know it could get wet. And if you don't have non-slip shoes on, you better be really careful. But near that time, but during that time when the manager fell, well, their work was still going to go on for a few more hours. The one when the coworker fell, well, it was near the end of the shift. So what they do is that they just let her sit for the for a few minutes to rest from falling, and then one of her she was really good friends with this coworker, you know, decided to take her home, and, you know, I thought, you know, go to her to get the most update. And the next night I was actually there, and I asked the other coworker, I was like, is she okay? And they're like, yeah, she's fine. She's feeling better today. So that made me feel a little bit better. But still, I mean, I'm not, like I say, I don't worry, you know, you walk on my wet floor, fine. But if you fall, then I'm going to feel bad because I think my mopping cost it. But, you know, I still leave wet floor signs out, because wet floor signs, well, they can save injuries before. And that's the story of the time we had two falls within 2 nights at work. If you enjoyed this story, please smash the thumbs up button and hit the bell for bell notifications so you'll be alert, and be sure to hit the red button and then hit the bell so you'll never miss another video. And I will be back next time with another story. I don't know if it'll be next week or so, but I'm going to try to aim for next week. I'm going to try to make Thursday night story time now. So if you enjoyed this story, like I said, hit the thumbs up button, hit the red subscribe button, and hit bell notification so you'll never miss another video. Until then, you'll have a good night, everybody. Or day, wherever you are.